Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome. We're live. I think we're live. We're live. We're live. And now we're live. We're live.
It is my esteemed pleasure to introduce Mr. and Mrs. Donald Trump. It's the Donald! Oh my God! Mr. and Mrs. Trump, it's an honor to meet you. Ron said his client had a rich uncle, but Donald Trump.
I like keeping a low profile.
Hi, Hillary Banks.
Hey, Hillary.
You know, you look much richer in person.
Hey, Mr. Trump. Hey, how you doing? Will Smith. Hey, listen, you are getting a great house here. Mm-hmm. And this is quite a deal you're getting for it, too. Look, I'll tell you what. You want another 50 grand, I'll cut the grass for you every Saturday.
Look, folks, before we go too far, I've got something to tell you.
Excuse me, but I've got something to tell you first. Thank you for ruining my life.
Ashley!
What did you do?
Everybody's always blaming me for everything.
Come on, let's sit down, sign some papers.
Mr. Banks, there's been a little mistake. Mr. Trump's nephew grew up at 508 St. Cloud Road.
And all this time, I thought our address was 805 St. Cloud.
Oh, big mistake. There's Donald Trump. You remember the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? What a show, right? When blacks liked Trump. Right? And, anyway, welcome to the program. Can this guy win the election? Right? It's 2024. Donald Trump was the president once upon a time, and in 2016 all the way to 2020. Big talk about him being cheated and robbed of the election, an insurrection to overturn the election, conspiracy theories. Right? Can he win again? That's the point here. It seems that if the election were occurred today, the polls suggest that Trump would lose. Now, does anybody believe that? Do we think that? We all know in our mind that cheating occurs. We know that certain people, they don't call it cheating. They just call it manipulating the facts in my favor. This is called campaigning. We can rig a number. We can rig a poll number because it has profound effect on people. For example, this reporter is doing his report based on the polls, right? And I'm also doing my own poll, our own poll, in this video. If you look to the right, you can vote. Will Trump win the 2024 election? Very simple. Will Trump win? All cheating aside, all possibilities of things happening aside, yes or no, will Trump win in 2024? That is the question today. Now, he was, in this election cycle, the heavy favorite against Joe Biden. He single-handedly, dropped, Joe Biden out of the race, right? Knockout in the first round of debates. Can he beat a 60-year-old black woman, former Attorney General for California, sitting Vice President of the United States of America, someone who refuses to come out in front of the media and answer questions? She's not playing that game. Kamala Harris, for the record, is not playing the media game. I'm going to go out in front of the cameras and I'm going to answer any question any jerk-off decides to ask me and play the gotcha game. Kamala Harris is not doing that. Right? Maybe that's a smart move. Maybe Trump shouldn't be doing that. Maybe Trump should just be talking, to the camera on his own, going to rallies, right? But the Democratic strategy of keeping Kamala Harris out of the public and just using the fake media the corporate media, paying off the corporate media to continue the idea that she's the winner and she's the best for the country. Once upon a time, America voted in elections. We put our candidates up. We wanted to see our candidates go head-to-head in a debate. We wanted to see our candidates go up against our favorite commentators, people like, Fox News, Hannity, or Tucker Carlson, or Bill O'Reilly, or have Rachel Maddow sit down with the candidate. But it seems that we're in a different time now, and people don't seem to care. A radicalized left, amazingly, is not challenging the appointment of Kamala Harris. They're just going along with it. Who's going along with this? Are the polls accurate? And who's going along with this idea that there really doesn't need to be a Democratic primary? Why are we even bothering? We have Kamala Harris. Joe Biden, oh yeah, he's too old, so now we'll get the next one in line. That's kind of like, that's a monarchy. The president dies, so we elevate the next in line to the presidency. That's in line with a monarchy, a communist kind of establishment. But on the other hand, Trump is, running for re-election. Right? He wants the vote of the people. And it doesn't seem that Kamala Harris is able to really play that game. So there is an interesting dichotomy going on where the Democrats seem to have, they're not pushing back on the idea that Kamala Harris is not coming out and answering questions upon questions upon questions. She's not putting herself in that position of having to answer questions to people like, Fox News, for example. So maybe that's a winning strategy is my point. Maybe that's the strategy that's winning, right? She has all of the Democratic money, all of the Democratic power brokers in her pocket. She has, what else? I don't know. Does she have the black vote? I don't think so. I don't think it's about black or white. I just think that, she is surging. Will she be a good president for the United States of America? Well, this reporter, I don't think so. I think that she's far left on all of the topics, all of the issues of America. Some of them are pretty good. I mean, some of them, we'll look at some of the things that she's planning to do, but we already know what they are. It's the Green New Deal. It's I don't even know. I can't even rattle them off. Building rail instead of highway all the way from, for example, New York to California. High-speed rail in America. Obama talked about that. That's a Democratic talking point. Will that ever happen? Will the United States ever have a high-speed rail? I don't think so. I think that's a fantasy. Right? Unless it's really, really fast and very, very cheap. If it's nuclear powered, right, and goes 300 miles an hour, why not? Why not eliminate some of the highways in America and or add a high-speed rail right next to it? You already have the road, right? Just take up one lane, right? One lane of highway from New York to California and drop the rail, 300 miles an hour. Things like that. Those are, purely democratic ideas. Green New Deal, move towards electronic cars rather than gas. All these things. Get money out of politics, which they seem to have stopped talking about. But that's Donald J. Trump there, and that's my. Don't forget to vote. We got the poll going. Will Trump win the 2024 election? So far, 83% of the people watching say yes, he will win. 17% say no way. Good morning, everybody in the chat. Weevil Girl in the house. Colossal Bigfoot is here. Church Maximus Chicken is here. Born Vicarious, what's up? David Brown, Quinn Smith, Timothy Manskier, Jim Gerard. What's up, Jim? Good morning. Who else is here? MZ T-Rex, Ms. T-Rex is here as well. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. So we're going to look at these fascinating subjects. That is my thumbnail. That is the great Donald Trump. My name is Marcus Conte. I have a website. This is the Morning Report. Every morning, 9 a.m., Monday through Thursday, Eastern Standard Time, right here in the great United States of America. It's still great. We don't have to make it great again. It already is great. And in more ways than one. It's a beautiful place, beautiful place to live. Difficult, the clash of ideas and such, but you can contribute to this program if you want to elevate something, if you want to elevate this reporter. Throw some money in the PayPal tip jar and or Patreon, or more importantly, do it through Zelle, shorthappylife@gmail.com. And you can forward some cash or dollars over to this demonetized channel. So let's start here. Interesting story. Alex Madoff. You remember the guy who was strung out on OxyContin, like 70 pills a day, and then he shot his wife and his kid. Right? The lawyer, the big lawyer, Alex Madoff. Right? This guy. He took the trial, he took the stand, and he rambled and was convicted of murdering both of them. And he's going to get a new trial. Convicted killer Alex Madoff may soon be getting a new murder trial. Oh, my God. How did he do it? Well, he's well connected. He has a lot of experience. They're trying to say that this lady right here, this clerk, peppered the jurors in a way that was unconstitutional. She went in there and says, "Now I want you to, I don't want you to fall for his professionalism, because he's a lawyer." Alex Madoff spoke on his own behalf. He's a lawyer. He knows what he's talking about. And this woman apparently tried to. She wrote a book about it. She's trying to profit off of the murder convictions. But there he is. In a better day. There's the son he killed. There's the wife he killed. This kid's still alive. Paul. So so is he going to get a new trial? I don't know. Most people in life don't get, sitting in jail who killed their wife and son. Don't usually get a second trial, but Alex Madoff is going to get one. In uglier news, this may be really ugly, although the participant can't see it because he is blind. A blind runner, he's blind in more ways than one. A blind runner who won 11 national titles as a man will compete as a woman. This has to stop, right? Now, the reason this is an interesting photograph because this is clearly what is it? It's a man, right? Has been its whole life. And what's interesting about the photo is that we can look towards the briefs. Look at the brief. And what do we see? We may see a package here. Is there a package? That's no woman, right? This woman is packing a piece. Right? There's a piece right there. Right. And there he is. He decided he can't see. He can't see what we could all see. I'm not knocking his blindness, but come on, man. You won 11 fucking titles as a man, and now you want to put on your bikini bottom and run as a woman? What the fuck is going on? But the image is rather revealing. Is that you tell me in the chat, is this a package or no package, right? Is this Italian sprinter packing a package? It's got definitely a man. Here he is surrounded by other women, right? I think there's a package there. I think it's a man. I think it's, unless he's tucking that shit in behind up his ass or something, right? Which they tend to do. What a ridiculous subject, right? What a fucking ridiculous world we live in. And also, you have people complaining, oh, things are too high, the prices of everything are too high. Well, New York City immigrant crisis is costing New York City $5 billion a year on shelter, security, and food, and that amount could double in 2025. So this is the new New York. There they are. Where they come from, who knows? They're immigrants. They're the backbone of American culture. They're the reason why America is so strong, because the immigrants pour in, the huddled masses yearning to be free. And there they are, lining up for free stuff. Hey, listen, my grandfather, both of them, came over on the banana boat from Italy, and you know, for if it weren't for them doing that, I wouldn't be here. So I'm grateful for immigration. I believe they came over legally. At the time, Ellis Island was the way to go. You got on a boat, you entered Ellis Island, you signed the fucking whatever, you signed the book, and boom, you were in the country, right? And you went right to the ghetto and tried to panhandle and tried to make your way. But it's a different time now. Now you go to the Roosevelt Hotel, they give you a room. You go outside in Times Square, you panhandle a little bit, and people give you money and sandwiches and tell you how wonderful it is for us to have you here and all this other nonsense, right? You need a job. These are all the people. I don't know, man. I really don't know about the economy. I know times change, but housing immigrants for $5 billion a year at the Roosevelt Hotel and such doesn't sound like the right way to go. Right? Now, what do you do with all these people? If they are immigrants and they are here illegally or whatever, in America, if you haven't heard, we don't let kids sleep on the street and freeze and starve. It doesn't happen in America. We'll leave a 70-year-old man on the street in New York City, you know, swamped in his own feces and piss, and clearly a mess. People will step right over that guy. But when it comes to children, they're not going to tolerate it. If you see a 5-year-old kid panhandling in the street of New York City, that kid's not going to be there more than 10 minutes or 10 seconds. The second a cop sees that, they're going to take the kid into custody. Right? But in other countries, it happens all the time. In other countries, the adults would be pimping out the kids. The kids would be sitting up front on the floor trying to bag some money. Right? So it is. We are still a good country. The point being that we don't let kids sit on the street and starve and freeze. So if the immigrants that somehow got here, if they find themselves in that position, they're going to be in the Roosevelt Hotel, not on the plane back to fucking wherever they came from. Right? Crazy times. Let's talk about the election here. This is shocking, really. Shocking and hard to believe, really, that if you look at the general election, the last polls we have was Monday. General election, Trump v. Harris. Morning Consultants has Harris up by 3. Harris up by 3. In some of the local Montana, Florida has Trump by 5. Let's look at the general. It's hard to find the general election right now. This is Real Clear Politics. I'll look at 538 in a second. Pennsylvania, Harris by 4. Holy shit. Michigan, Harris by 4. Wisconsin, Harris by 4. Pennsylvania, Harris by 2. That's New York Times. This is all New York Times reporting. New York Times went all blue on this one. So we'll take that one with a grain of salt. But as far back as Friday, last Friday, Trump was winning. Trump was winning Pennsylvania, Wisconsin. So the latest polls by New York Times have tilted the race, hypothetically and theoretically, because there's no actual votes happening. But the hypothetical, theoretical is leaning towards Harris right now. That is the poll. 538, polls ending August 13. That was yesterday. They have Trump by 7. Activote, that's Texas, excuse me. It's Trump by 7 in Texas. General election, the average has Harris, as of August 11, Harris all up. Harris by 3, Harris by 3, Harris by 4, Harris by 3. That's Morning Consultant and Big Village. I don't know who they are. General election, Wisconsin, Harris by 9. So look, those are, if we believe the polls, I tend to not completely believe the New York Times for good reason. They have not been honest for the most part. So we need to see more polling there. But it does look like it's tilting. That wouldn't have happened. It certainly would have happened with Trump v. Biden. But since the old man dropped out, now Trump is the old man, the 77-year-old facing off against a 60-year-old woman, black, right, who smiles and cackles and refuses to speak to anybody. Right? How's that going to work out for Kamala Harris when she's at the table with world leaders and they're talking over each other and she goes, "Excuse me, I'm speaking." Right? How's that going to pan out? "Excuse me, it's my turn to speak." Right? How's that going to work out? That kind of attitude. I don't know, but let's see. Donald Trump really in trouble amid new polls, they say.
Election and how things are tracking. There's been an amalgamation of recent national polls. They've all been collated by 538. And it says that Kamala Harris is ahead of Donald Trump by just under 3 points. So do you see this as a honeymoon period for Kamala Harris, Greg? Or is this now building evidence that the Trump campaign is in real trouble?
No, Peter, I think Trump is in real trouble. I think Kamala Harris has the potential to be a disastrous president, particularly for Australia. She favours cutting the defence budget. She's identified with every destructive left-wing cause in the book.
Cutting the defense budget, by the way, for Americans is very popular. It's cutting the defense budget. It doesn't make us less safe. It means you cut the defense budget and you stop giving billions of dollars to Israel, billions of dollars to Ukraine. That is a popular position that Kamala Harris is taking. Cut the defense budget. Popular, very popular.
But I can't believe how badly Trump has campaigned since Harris has been announced. So she's got massive advantage of him in funding.
She's got massive funding advantage. I believe that too. All the Democratic, money is flooding into Harris. Where it wasn't for Biden, now it's all for Harris.
There is now an enthusiasm gap in favour of her, whereas he was going to beat Biden decisively. Not only was he leading in the polls, but Republicans were much more enthusiastic than Democrats.
Yeah.
Right at the moment, Democrats are more enthusiastic than Republicans.
Democrats are more enthusiastic than Republicans here in America. I think so. I think they have a renewed, hope. Hope has returned, right? They hope that they can get rid of the orange monster once and for all. And Joe Biden couldn't do it. But now, Camilla and Walz to the rescue. They have hope again. I think he's right about that.
They're giving her a very soft run. She hasn't had to do a single interview since she announced as a candidate. But Trump's campaigning. I thought Vance was a terrible mistake. He was a good man, Vance, lovely memoir, and I'm glad he's a convert to Catholicism and everything. But he had no money in the bank. He was not a national figure. And he didn't extend Trump's coalition at all. Nikki Haley would have been an infinitely better choice.
I disagree with that. I think that J.D. Vance does increase Trump's coalition, certainly in Ohio, certainly in Pennsylvania.
Or Marco Rubio. And then since then...
Marco Rubio's Florida. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about there. I disagree.
Trump has indulged in weird personal attacks on Kamala Harris and then he's always talking about the past.
He's using the weird word, weird. Oh, he's making weird attacks. What weird attacks?
He's never. He's still trying to litigate the election last time, which everyone knows he lost fair and square.
Not everyone knows Trump lost fair and square. All right, so that's one opinion. Cut him right there. Cut him off.
With 1 week to go before the Democratic National Convention, the ticket of Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are gaining momentum in the race for the White House.
As ABC's Christian Cordero shows us, the candidates are holding rallies in several key battleground states.
Today, after a week of rallies in key states, momentum is swinging back towards the Democratic ticket. A New York Times Siena poll shows Vice President Kamala Harris has a 4-point edge on former President Donald Trump in
Where is this?
Wisconsin,
Pennsylvania,
and Michigan, within the margin of error.
That's crazy, right? Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. That's the shit right there, right? I expect I'm going to make a collection because I'm in the great state of Pennsylvania. It's probably the most hotly contested state. We've got Trump this Saturday at Wilkes-Barre Scranton at the Mohegan fucking Arena. Right down the block in Wilkes-Barre. Trump's going to rock the house. I'm a little pissed off. I didn't get my press pass. I didn't get a press pass. The Trumps don't like me. But I don't know. I don't know how to get on those lists. I've never tried. But I might squeak in at the end, or I might stay for the after party outside in front of the big screen and just roam around. I'm not really sure. But I'm going to stay this time. Last time I didn't stay in Harrisburg.
Harris is expected to unveil her economic plans in the coming days.
When I am president, we will continue our fight for working families of America.
What fight are we working for? What fight? It's just words.
Including to raise the minimum wage.
It's already $15. What are you talking about?
And eliminate taxes on tips for service and hospitality workers.
Trump responding, she copied.
Eliminating taxes on service workers. Most service workers don't pay tax. That's bullshit. Any waiter who makes fucking $200 in the course of a night never reports $200. He reports 50 cents.
My no taxes on tips policy.
We will pass massive tax cuts for workers, and that includes no tax on tips.
Something he's promised for months.
Chris Milk, are you asking me, am I going to the Trump rally? I am going. Yes, I'm going. I'm going to be there. I'll be there, and if anybody wants to come and hang out, I'll be there early. I'll be there out in the lot, talking to people, looking, observing the crowd, listening, and making video. If you want to meet me there, I don't know where I'll be. I don't think it'll be hard to find because I'm kind of like an eyesore walking around in a place like that. I tend to stand out. You'll see me if I'm there.
Also on social media, Trump is pushing false claims that Harris used artificial intelligence to create images of fake crowds. That's not true. Thousands of people have attended her rallies, including 15,000.
Trump called for fake crowds. I think the crowds were real, especially, particularly the one in Pennsylvania, in Florida. Not Florida, in Philadelphia. Right? Kamala Harris had a rally in Philadelphia the day she announced, and the place was packed. It had at Temple University. It had like 10,000 people. That was a real crowd.
1,000 here in Phoenix.
The enthusiasm is real, right? Trumpers. The enthusiasm on the Democratic side is real. So they don't fucking care that it's an unelected, affirmative action, DEI, push to the front of the line, fucking lady from California. They don't care about that. It's just it's Democrat. We're all the same now. All of a sudden, they're all the same. All of a sudden now, it doesn't matter. You really want to tell me that the young people that really care about the issues, I take it back. I don't really know what issues the young people care about anymore. Do they really care about minimum wage? Well, Kamala Harris is your candidate. Do they really care about, the Green New Deal? Well, then Kamala Harris is your candidate. Getting money out of politics, neither one is your candidate. perhaps. I don't know.
Where running mate Minnesota Governor Tim Walz took a jab at the former president.
I think my train of thought was, where are the young people in this? Right? They don't see. The thing about it is the Democrats, the young people, for example, the Bernie Sanders people, that crowd, all of these issues stem out of Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren. Those are the two people, the authors of most of these policies, Democratic policies that are being promoted. They're for all of those things. And Joe Biden really did stand against a lot of it for a long time. The college, getting free college tuition at city and state universities, student debt, getting rid of student debt that's old or vindicated or whatever. So by getting Kamala Harris, she allegedly, theoretically, is behind all of those things, she says. Now, is any of it going to happen once she's president? Probably not, right? No more so than it happened with Joe Biden, right? They're going to have to try to squeak everything through. So the thought I'm getting is that the young people really don't have to, repel against the Democrats. What do they want? A better candidate that is better on the issues? Kamala Harris has no problem flipping to their issues. I'm for whatever you're for because I'm your candidate, is what she's saying. I'm for that. I'm for this. I'm for you. I'm for everybody, right? As the bombs continue to fall on the heads of the Palestinian people in Gaza, right? Who are you for? It's the same. It's the same policy. It's the same. She's claiming she wants to, defund or reduce the military budget. Really? It goes up $50 billion, $100 billion a year. We're up to like $800 billion for military. What are you gonna reduce? You're gonna reduce that to what? Right? Why don't you say something bold and say, we're not going to give money to Ukraine anymore. We are not going to give money to Israel anymore. Those days are over. Now they got to solve their own fucking problems. She's not doing that at all. She's just saying, we're going to defund the military. No, you're not. You're not going to do it because you didn't do it. And you won't do it.
It's not as if anybody cares about crowd sizes or anything.
Trump's running mate, Senator J.D. Vance, is pushing immigration reform as a top campaign issue. Trump has vowed mass deportations. ABC's John Carl pressed Vance to elaborate.
I think it's interesting that people focus on, well, how do you deport 18 million people? Let's start with 1 million. That's where Kamala Harris has failed, and then we can go from there.
Both campaigns will be on the road later this week. Trump in North Carolina, Harris too, after a stop in Maryland with President Biden. And the Democratic National Convention kicks off 1 week from today.
Your future in mechanical engineering technology starts here.
So there's a lot of. I'm sorry, I was reading the chat while you guys. Here's Bill O'Reilly. Bill O'Reilly sits down with who's this other guy? The Daily Show. Fucking, I hate this guy. Jon Stewart. Bill O'Reilly is a Republican, fucking operative genius, really. For more than 20 or 30 years, Bill O'Reilly, people hung on the edge to see what Bill O'Reilly was saying. He's looking pretty good right now. I think he's in his 80s now, Bill. Still sharp as a nail.
Thanks for having me.
Take your time.
Appreciate it.
William.
Yes, sir.
Our country, we are in such a dangerous moment. You've written books on almost every assassination. Yes, you have a whole line of
the killing books.
A children's series. You write about killing presidents. Is the time we're in your mind? Are we in a unique time in American history of polarization, or as you looked back on those other moments of terrible tragedy in our country? Are there similarities or differences?
Yeah, it's not unique, but the social media and the corporate media heighten everything. So
you're saying Lincoln's tweets were not a part of.
It's interesting what Bill is saying. Bill O'Reilly says that the creation of social media, where people are, connected through this thing called the internet and in real time, is a game changer. Right? So what?
He had to get a pigeon and throw them out the window, and
Makes sense.
limited. But the assassins all had one thing in common.
What did they
They
have?
were all mentally ill, all of them, and most of them.
How do you know? Most of them are dead. How do you make a medical diagnosis to the guy who just tried to shoot Trump? Fucking crooks. How do you get a diagnosis on him if he's dead? How do you know he's mentally ill? There was no medical nothing.
Did their terrible deeds because they were in a rage, and you're going to find out that this guy in Pennsylvania fits both of those categories.
Are you going to find out? Well, you don't know. You're just saying it. I'm not liking Bill so far.
Has been human nature since they.
So, do you believe then that the political rhetoric? I mean, John Wilkes Booth was clearly up.
Let's look at the stock market. Ding, we're open. Are we open? We're open. Yeah, 938. Boom, bang, bam. Nasdaq up. Trump media up, then down. Trump media down 4 cents right now. It looks like the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 41. Nasdaq up 24. S&P 500 up 5. Green day. It's a green day. So everything's holding. No crashity crash. Nasdaq up slightly. All the technology, with the exception of Google, is green right now. Bitcoin surging up $1,500 per share this morning, 2.5%. Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, the former late great vaccine stocks all down and continuing to go down. Moderna is $82 a share. It's going to be a penny stock someday. No more vaccine. You can't push it. You can't push it. So the markets are stable. They really are. Fucking, what else we got here? This guy.
Political actor, no, but he was also mentally ill.
Well, John Wilkes Booth was a fanatical conservative and racist who hated Lincoln.
Good thing that's gone out of the country.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
No, I know. I was saying it too. I'm saying that's good.
We were both saying it simultaneously.
We're obviously sharing that opinion.
We're simpatico.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Don't throw Latin into it.
I'm sorry. So it's not new, but we're now in a society where hatred is rewarded.
Hatred is rewarded. Get down to it, Bill. You're wasting our time.
Incentivized. It's monetized.
That's
monetized.
Right. And the hate brigade is now pulling back a little bit because they have to, but they're going to be back in 2 weeks because they get paid to do this. They're so untalented.
You and I. Oh boy.
I want to make this point because Stuart and I have a.
Jon Stewart tried to cut him off. Shut up, John.
History. All right, we go back. But if you watch,
it's a good interview. They're respectful to each other, I think.
If you Google, all right,
really,
Stuart and I,
ships passing in a night. Right. It's really.
We are able to disagree without hating each other. Now, I truly hate him, but I don't.
All right, so those are the two clowns. What's Hannity say? Hannity say.
All right, big news. CNN anchor Caitlin Collins yesterday appeared on Stephen Colbert's show, and Colbert made a joke that was actually funny for once, except he was trying to be serious. I'm serious. Take a look.
I know you guys are objective over there, that you just report the news as it is. No, I know. CNN makes a... I know
Is that supposed to be a laugh line?
It wasn't supposed to be, but I guess it is.
Yeah, that would be a laugh line. Not even liberals in that audience believe that fake news CNN is objective. Anyway,
hey, if you're watching the show and you haven't voted yet, I'm going to. Will Trump win in 2024? You came into the show with an opinion, and if you have an opinion right now, click yes or no, and then we'll find out how many people voted. And right now, it looks like yes. Will Trump win in 2024? 77% of the people watching say yes, he will, and 23% say no.
We're here with reaction. Former 2024 GOP presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy. You see, all of the lying, all of the distortion, all of the media protection, and now we're back to square one, and that is now we've got 34 days before early voting starts.
That's right.
And the American public is not aware of who Kamala Harris or Tim Walz are.
Yep.
Well, that's exactly part of the plan, Sean, is the reality is Kamala Harris never went through the primary process where she had to cater to the left.
Why does anybody have to go through the official primary process? Try to think outside of the box right now. Kamala Harris is winning in the polls. Why does she have to conform to some sort of strategy that would cause her to lose? When you're winning, you keep everything steady. When you're cruising, you just keep cruising, right? She didn't go down in the polls. If she goes down in the polls, she may have a different opinion. But right now, her strategy is a winning strategy, Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris' strategy right now is a winning strategy based on the polls.
So now she gets to appear like she's in the center when, in fact, she's one of the most radical nominees we've seen from the Democratic Party.
All right.
There's exactly one reason she's rising in the polls. It's because the media is propping her up.
That's correct. That's correct. The money in the media. But so what, Vivek? So what? That's America. It doesn't matter. If you got billions of dollars, you just throw it at the fake media, give it to CNN, cut CNN, ABC, CBS, MSNBC, New York Post, cut everybody in on the deal, right? The money flows in, and the populace, all those jerk-off writers and commentators all start talking marvelously about Harris. That's the system we have right now, right? Can people see through it? I think they do. I think people see through it. But they're not seeing through it this time, and they because they like Kamala Harris. That's the fucked up part of it. People are okay with it. They're okay with Kamala Harris, right? Because of the issues that she's running on, right? The leftist issues.
And our formula to win this, Sean, is ultimately we got to take this back to our vision for policy in the future of the United States. If we do that, we win. If we steer from that path, we lose. I think it's that simple. And you know what? The media does present an uphill battle, but it's up to us to actually overcome that and to win. That's what I'm in favor of.
You see, I agree. We've had this discussion about inflation and the economy and illegal immigration and open borders and law and order and energy and America's role in the world. We've talked about that. But doesn't there also have to be an information process where the American...
When they talk about energy, I'll predict that it's based on the track record with Trump in terms of energy. If you pump and drill and frack within the United States, right, drill baby drill, if you use the resources under the Americans' feet and, miles off of the ocean, you can become energy independent, just like Saudi Arabia, just like, fucking Venezuela, just like most of the Middle East. You become energy sufficient, energy independent. You don't have to buy your shit from anybody else. If with that one move alone, you'll see inflation drop. Right? You'll see a drop in prices because energy prices go down and everything gets a little cheaper and a little easier to make. Right? But if you keep promoting a Green New Deal, you'll never get to that decrease in unless somebody, if you want to roll the dice and keep waiting for the Chinese to invent the best fucking battery in the world and then steal it from them, steal the technology and make your own, then, all right, well, good luck, because you're going to be waiting at least 10 years for that. But energy.
American people become fully acquainted with who they both are, what they both said in their own words, and how they're changing and flipping and flopping and flailing?
Absolutely. And if the media is not doing their job, that job then falls to us.
No, right. Don't blame the media. Stop blaming everybody. Just nobody cares about
Explain to Americans, Kamala Harris has stood consistently for single-payer health care and nationalization of the U.S. healthcare system.
Single payer health care, again, Vivek. Open your fucking eyes. That is a wildly popular opinion in America. People want health care. People that can't afford it don't give a fuck about where it's coming from or how they're going to get it. They just want to be able to go to a doctor, a legitimate medical doctor, and have access to a hospital. That's all people want, right? Single payer, this, that, the other. They don't fucking want to pay because they don't have the money, right? Popular. Single payer health care, right? Socialized, what you're calling socialized medicine, is wildly popular in America. Wake up.
She favors abolishing private health insurance.
So what? But who fucking needs private health insurance? Why would you want it?
That means if you like the private health insurance plan you're on right now, under her, you won't have access to that because she favors a single government-ordained plan.
Correct. And why is that a fucking bad thing? Who likes their health care? Oh, I love my health care. I don't want to get the health care where I don't have to pay for it. I want my own health care. Right? People are not thinking like that, Vivek. Who are you speaking to when you talk about that? Most of the country wants a universal, single-payer health care system. That's what people want.
I mean, she actually favored changing the filibuster in the Senate to ram through a Green New Deal that would replace aviation travel with rail travel. She favors a tax on unrealized capital gains, which means that people across this country will actually have to pay taxes with cash they don't even have. That's
taxation, right? People, we have a girl talking about the fracking and the drilling, pollution that's created by this drill baby drill. Yes, and yes. There has to be safer ways to do it. Not all oil and oil drilling is bad. Fracking is bad. Fracking is the process of pulling natural gas out of the ground, and it really does destroy the fucking natural ecosystem. Many meters below the surface. Not a good thing for the environment. Fracking is, but building nuclear power plants to eliminate fossil fuel digging is a great idea. No one wants to do it because it's nuclear.
farmers, that's small business owners across the country. So yes, should the media be questioning Kamala Harris and explaining her views to the public? Absolutely. Are they doing that? No, they're not. That leaves one option, though, Sean, because we have a country to save. We don't have a long time to do it. So it falls on us not just to complain about the media failing, but for us to now step up and explain that to the American people ourselves to make sure we get the right president in office. And that's going to be Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. He's in the pocket for Trump, he says. So that's all I got. I'll let Trump and Elon Musk take us out. So there you go. Let's end the poll here. I'm going to end the poll. Last 10 seconds to vote. Will Trump win the 2024 election? And 75% of the people say yes, 25% no. That's about 3/4. I'm ending the poll, and boom, what's the result? What's the result? Where'd the result go? Where'd the result go? Where did it go? The fucking result disappeared. Where did it go? Where did my poll go? I ended the poll. I didn't get the results. Trump wins. There you go. 30. There's the result right there. I got nervous. Will Trump win the 2024 election? 75% of the 32 people who voted, 75% say yes, 25% say no. So there you have it. The New York Times polls and all of the leftist fake news polls are polling Harris up. No one seems to care that she's not coming out in front of the media answering real questions. It seems to be a thing of the past. Debates may get thrown to the wind. Is Kamala Harris gonna? She's winning. Why is she gonna? Why would Kamala Harris go to the podium against Trump, who knocked Joe Biden out in one punch? Why would Kamala Harris put herself in that position on Fox? Right? For what reason? She's winning. So it's a different time. It's a different tactic. Right? I'm not speaking right now. That's Kamala Harris. I'm not ready to speak. I speak when I want to speak. That's what you're going to hear. We're not speaking right now because we got business to do. Right? She'll give you some shit like that. Right? So I guess I'll see you guys. Today's Wednesday. I'll see you tomorrow.
She is considered
Yeah.
more
I'll
liberal
see you
by
tomorrow.
far than Bernie Sanders. She's a radical left lunatic. She's saying she was strong on the border. We're going to be strong. Well, she doesn't have to say it. She could close it up right now. The election's coming up, and the people want to hear about the economy and the fact that
Absolutely,
they can't
sure.
buy groceries because they don't have enough money to buy groceries. And this stupid administration allowed this to happen.
The Harris campaign responded this way, a statement. Trump's entire campaign is in service of people like Elon Musk and himself. Self-obsessed rich guys who will sell out the middle class and who cannot run a live stream in the year 2024. All right, this is a woman who woman-splained artificial intelligence has 2 letters, but okay. Brian Yennis has more. Brian.
Harris, at its peak, about 1.3 million people were listening in as former President Trump and Elon Musk spoke for more than 2 hours yesterday in an audio conversation on X. But it was marred by technical glitches that delayed the event by more than 40 minutes. Users who tried to join the X Spaces convo were met with messages that said, quote, "This space is unavailable." On X, Musk claimed the glitches were due to a cyber attack, writing, quote, "There appears to be a massive DDoS attack on X, working on shutting it down. A DDoS or distributed denial of service attack is a federal crime. It involves flooding a site with data and knocking it offline. An attack has not been independently verified, and critics are